That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Amon, what's good? Okay, so we're gonna get into some things. This whole hustle culture thing. I am not mad at it, but there are some things to be said about the whole hustle culture. And anybody who's working to survive, working for a living. But specifically, this one kind of goes out to my fellow independents, the entrepreneur types, the freelancer types, but this definitely applies to everybody. Because either way, you cannot be hustling backwards. It is very bad for your health. And of course, on the free energy tip, what that ties into is your overall general health and lifestyle. Free energy lifestyle. Been working on this project, developing this out. It's been in my mind for some years now, and ultimately in development for the last quarter of my life. Making a whole lot of lifestyle changes, and just to the point where people say that lifestyle changes, like it's almost a cliche thing to say, but it really is about the changes you make. Like the idea of I want to go on this diet to try to get some particular outcome or goal, or get in shape for the summer or spring, whatever. But it really is about lifestyle changes as opposed to just diet, like quick fix kind of things. It's overall changes that need to be made in our lives to really just live better. And in my case, and if you're down with the team, extract the most free energy you can out of your day to day, because we are leaving free energy gains on the table every day by not doing some simple things. They're very simple, but they are, in fact, the hardest, easiest things. We get into that. If you guys already know the free energy lifestyle, what that's all about. I am an independent freelancer, graphic designer, motion graphic designer. I do a lot of visual media consulting. Area One creates, you see it right here. That's the business. That's what I do. But I've also always been a health and fitness enthusiast behind the scenes. And in fact, that is what helped me get to this point to be able to have a career doing the visual media work and create some bit of independence for myself. And it's on a trajectory towards total financial independence. Playing my cards right, making the right moves, and not hustling backwards. But that is something that I've had to struggle with myself. So it's an easier said than done, and it's always a work in progress. I got some notes here, so this is gonna be a banger of a show. I know some other people are live right now, but you got to catch this on the replay. This one won't even be too long. Fly through the notes and close it out. If anybody pulls up with any questions, I'll address those. But for the most part, we're gonna rock out and just go through some of these notes and just get some of these points out. It's inspired by, again, my independent freelancer types, similar to myself, and the idea of when you're a victim of your own success. I do some things. I do some things with the visual media work. This stuff sells itself. People need the visuals, content, 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 right? And it's just even more crazy. I mean, sure, make your video, make your logo, make your whole brand set up, embed the whole layout into your videos. But then what am I going to do with it? AM1, what do I do with it now? I need something else. It's to the point now where people are like, I don't even want to manage my own social media. And that's cool. I'm not really trying to scale up to that degree, but look, I can help you with more strategy on the consulting tip, and I can design your whole setup. We can do the whole get down. So yeah, AM1 Creative Consulting, AM1 Creates. You already know what it is, but on the free energy tips, so this whole health element and the things I've been doing, the lifestyle changes that the last 2 years relative to health and just social interactions and how easily that's been manipulated by people styling themselves as people who care about us, right? The experts and whatnot. We gotta be honest about that. That's part of my free energy system. In fact, just the overall motivation, autonomy, self-governance. It is about putting fire under our own asses, not making excuses, and making those changes we need to make, and not setting ourselves up for failure. And in the spirit of doing that, the idea of your own independent hustle, super duper important. Anybody who's already on that trajectory knows what it is. So shout out to Erica Williams. Just talked to her earlier. Holy moly. This is partially inspired by her, because when she gets excited and she hits me up, I got a project, aim one. Here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. I'm like, okay. And if y'all know Erica Williams, then you know how her energy gets real frantic, real hype. She gets juiced. And when she makes a decision and she's about that life, she's about that life. So here we go. I got to go hop on a plane. I got to go to Texas or Florida or wherever. And we got to go shoot some content. That's just what it is, because this is what we do. and we have a blast doing it, and we do it in style. So, more classy climb content on the way. This also goes out to Victoria, the credit solutionist, whom I did a dope live stream with the other day, and my guy Coach G from Plant Based Fitness. Really dope streams, conversations, and I mean, there's just so many other people. Basically, my circle. I'm gonna bring up the slides because we gotta reference this while I run into these things. The keys, the keys, the keys, the keys. Shout out to my guy Amir Keys, Live 58 Studios. He's one of my inspirations for this as well. So I'm inspired by the people who are around me, my circle of people who keep me focused, keep me influenced. Yes, Sin Edition, one of my biggest inspirations. Yes, it's so much, so much. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know y'all in the building. Master Jones, what's good? There's gonna be some real interesting motivation for anybody of any kind of work modality, but definitely on the independent level. And if you're not working independent entrepreneur type for yourself yet, you're gonna want to do that. And I'm networked in with so many people online, offline, who are doing these kind of things, who can send you in these trajectories. So I mean, it's AM1 Creates. I am a creative consultant, so I'm surrounded a lot around a lot of business people. But at the same time, we're going into this free energy thing, which is like the catalyst and what makes all of the other lanes possible. And that's exactly why this whole discussion on hustling backwards relative to your health. But yeah, right about now, I'm a victim of my own success, and it's basically relative to the people I keep around me. So this is addressing part of the 8 keys. Well, it's technically 7 keys, but the first one is the motivation. I'm going to redo this slide and kind of break it down like that. But intentional interactions, solitude. I'm by myself a lot, and that makes me want to add more value to my interactions. Super duper important. In other words, I ain't really just out here kicking it with people for no real return on that time investment. And I know that sounds kind of like a rugged kind of way to live, but it's so baked into how I move. Plus, the people I interact with, it's intentional on the level of business inspiration. Of course, that ties into the creativity hobbies element, and I'm going to add business on there as well. So these, of course, are the keys to health, keys to freedom, because it is about the freedom, self-governance, autonomy. All of these things are independence or the bullet points, but they all intersect in a lot of ways. So again, this is literally just my lifestyle. People have asked me about things I do to stay healthy for the last decade plus, and even more so recently because we had this thing where they're telling people they're getting sick over the last couple of years. And what are you doing? How come you're not worried about it? You're good. You've been healthy. Yeah. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. Let me package it up and let people know. But at the same time, I am, again, an independent entrepreneur, serial business owner, and creative consultant. So it is an independent sort of freelance kind of thing. Like over the past few years, I've been offered many full-time jobs working for companies making really good money, but I would be sort of pinned to their situation. And I say, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm definitely an advocate of hustle culture, independent freelancer lifestyles for sure, freedom, self-governance, autonomy. But the health element has to be a big part of that. And I've had discussions with the fellow creative types over the past few months and just talked about the importance of that, carving out time during your day, your morning, starting it off right, what you're consuming, what you're putting in your body, how you're sort of getting your rest, proper sleep, rest cycles as well. So with these notes up, I'm going to go to my other notes that I had specifically for this show. Again, this is all about adding value. When you are your own independent freelancer, you need to add value to your life and to other people's lives. That's ultimately what it is, because you're selling a service or a product, and you need to make that functional, and you need to make the service flow right, right? So it's always value. How do you add more value to something while making sure you're being compensated properly? Big deal. So even this stream right here, I do this. It's fun doing these kind of things. But at the same time, I want to add real world value and let it sit here as like an evergreen kind of video. At the very least, serves as some motivation, inspiration. But again, these are my modalities. Oakland, California, Bay Area, Silicon Valley. I do a whole lot of different independent creative freelance work. So there's value here on a lot of different levels, whether you work for yourself, work for someone, or you're a person that needs to be healthy, which is everyone. So there's a lot of value baked into, packed into, designed into this presentation that I'm giving you right now. Presentation, live stream, having fun with it. But I got notes. I got notes. Don't hustle backwards. Hustling backwards is absolutely bad for your health. Actually, let me try something here. Hustling backwards is, in fact, very bad for your health. Unhealthy work habits exposed. And this is something I've struggled with a lot over the years. I used to have super duper poor sleep. I've made changes within the last 4 months that have made my sleep, proper rest cycles so much better, go through the roof, much more energized, much more focused. And, I've been doing a lot more recently with the extended fasting and just really eating cleaner. So, again, it ties to my other notes that you're seeing on the screen. Um, so I mean, just grind, grind, grind. Like I said, I'm a victim of my own success to the degree that the work is flowing. The work is flowing. While at the same time, it's like I have Aaron Creates work. So that's my creative consulting work. But because of the health and lifestyle changes going into this year, it's been a snowball effect of energy that I'm gaining, and the clarity, the focus said, oh, let me double down on the workout game and let's do it in the winter. Let's get tighter on the eating situation, and that's created even more motivation. So then I kick off the whole free energy brand, this whole situation, new channel, podcast style, just content, everything, the brand. And now that's a snowball effect because people are really loving that. So now I got AM1 Creates and I got free energy. I'm technically consulting on my own project and designing for my own project. And I'm very much interested in this project, kind of more so than doing work for other people. Just saying, because the freedom autonomy thing. Now, technically, I work for myself. I have clients that hire me, but I can fire clients. It's scalable. I work how I want to work when I want to work for the most part. This free energy thing is the whole next iteration of that. And then, of course, social life. Yeah, whatever. But I mean, even my social interactions are with clients, potential clients, consulting clients, friends, but who are creatives as well. So this ties into this whole situation where don't hustle backwards. So I'm just laying this all out because this weaves into my life in so many different ways. Because again, the kind of creative work I do, but then the health element as well, and then launching this new brand that's tied into health. But then there's this feedback loop into the fact that I know a lot of independent creators and freelancers, and then of course the remote work wave now. People need better resources and motivation and coaching for time management and how to handle. Maybe you've captured more free energy time out of your day because you don't have to commute, right? Or just as a sheer transition of going from working in an office setting to being at home. Maybe you don't have the same coworker kind of interaction. Maybe it creates a more boring environment. And when you get boredom going on, you get, I want to snack more. If you're inside all day, they told people to stay inside. You need to get outside more. You need to be active. You already know what it is. Free energy style, cardio for breakfast. That's how I roll. I suggest everybody do it that way. Skip breakfast, always be in an intermittent fasting kind of modality. Always shuffle that through. I have a ebook coming up, working on that right now. AM1 Free Energy Intermittent Fasting Basics. That's in development right now. I'm writing all the copy out for it and designing it as we speak. So I'm working on that simultaneously. Again, value, value, value. So you guys are definitely going to want to check that out. As soon as that's done, you guys will be the first to know. In fact, the folks in the Telegram group will be the first to know. Then the people who are sub to the AM1 Free Energy channel, of which I'll drop that link. If you guys aren't sub to the other channel, what are you doing? And if you really want to come get in the Telegram group, Free Energy channel link. Let me drop that in there. Managing a couple of things. W. Alfonso was good. And Mr. or Mrs. Barr. I'm not even going to try to butcher that first name, but I appreciate you up in here. Y'all hit the like button. Again, 15 minutes in. Don't want to be too long with this, but just going through my notes. You already know what it is. The keys to health, technically the motivation, autonomy, movement, resistance training, cardio for breakfast. You need your workouts in. Put the body through some changes, make it adapt. And as it's adapting, make sure you have the proper nutrient consumption, food, water, the breath, the breathing. Yes. And then, of course, how you balance abstaining from food, too much food, balancing it out right. So fasting, right? It's a big deal. The F bomb, the F bomb, the F bomb. Some people love to talk about it and interested in it. Some people can't stand that word. Cause you mean I can't eat? Yeah, sometimes you're gonna have to space that out. They set you up for failure and told you need to eat 3 meals a day, and most of those meals are not healthy food, and there's all kind of hidden little hidden gems of things to ruin your life. preservatives, sugar, all this other good stuff. So we got to sort through that. So yeah, fasting, you're gonna have to do it. You got to detox your body out, and part of the detox is allowing your body to rest and get toxins out of your body, things that don't need to be there. And part of that is, of course, with sleep, one of the ultimate free energy tools, something we naturally have to do, but we actually rob ourselves from hustling all the way backwards. That's something I've done a lot. Media content consumption, that's a great way to hustle backwards, being just bogged down in some kind of content that's just distracting you and not really giving you a return on that time investment. Hustling all the way backwards. It's very bad for your health. It's bad for your life. It's bad for your time. 24 hours in a day. What are you getting out of that? Will Melvin, what's good? 24 hours in a day. What are you getting out of that? I mean, we got to be economical with this stuff because the economic system is running wild on us. So it's directly relative to time, to labor, and all of this ties into your health. Most of the media content that they're putting out there is bad for your mental health and even dealing with the devices, physical health. And as your mental health goes, your physical health goes, right? And it works both ways. As your physical health goes, your mental health goes. Intentional interactions, putting yourself around people that want to see you win and that are pushing you to win and who are winning, and know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to stay by yourself and not go be around a bunch of people that's leeching energy off you, because that's a great way to hustle all the way backwards. See, everything about life, I'm a madman about it. I'm a mad scientist. Everything ties in together. That's why I read out sort of these keys to health and just really mapped it out. So we got technically 7 things here in the motivation. Creativity, hobbies, business. That's I've been able to put the creativity, the hobbies, my skill sets, and my business all in one, doing the free energy work, and of course AM1 creates my client work, and now I'm my own client with one of my biggest projects ever. Time in nature, of course. So every day, cardio for breakfast. I'm up and about. I live in downtown Oakland, and sometimes you can catch me out in Mexico. Either way, I'm turning in some cardio for breakfast. Been intermittent fasting for years. Some people are like, that's crazy. That's counterproductive. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get buff? You trying to get muscle mass? Muscle mass can be gained even with intermittent fasting. Shut up. It's totally doable. If you don't know, you gonna learn if you come rock with free energy. Link to the other channel is right there. And if you like, if you really want to be dope, go join us in the Telegram group. Telegram group is the Telegram channel and then the interactive group. So subscribe to both of those if you really want to get down. Again, we are still just scratching the surface on this whole free energy thing. And I'm just wrapping my mind around it because, again, I'm a victim of my own success. Client work is going up through the roof, but I got this project here for myself. Not only am I a client, I'm also the president. Free energy lifestyle. I suggest you get with some of these tactics. Intermittent fasting is a big part of that fasting because it does teach you delayed gratification, and it sets you up to be able to abstain from too much out of control media content consumption. It sets you up to have better intentional interactions. All of these things listed here is the reason why and the ways you can extract more energy out of your day. And just ultimately really get in touch with who you truly are. You know what I mean? In most cases, you're distracted by so many things, distracted by media. That's social conditioning, social engineering, brainwashing, perhaps. Intentional interactions, putting yourself around a bunch of different people that are pulling you in all these different emotional ways, and you getting entangled within their dramas and social situations. When do you detach from that and really know who you are? Time in nature, Coach DC said something like, being in nature reminds you that you are nature, right? Who you really are. Big, 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 big deal. Y'all see what it is. Y'all see it's nothing but gems on the stream right about now. I'm sure you realize that right now. I'm kind of on a nice little vibe right now. I wasn't sure about streaming, but a lot of action's been happening. Did those streams last week, so shout out to those folks, the independents that are really doing their things. My guy, Coach G, plant-based fitness, credit solutionist. Again, inspired by them. Just talked to Erica, my guy Keys from Lot 58 Studios. Discussions talking about hustling backwards, having yourself all exhausted because you're pulling all-nighters, research and development, trying to meet a deadline. That's kind of me right now. Meeting deadlines on projects. Meanwhile, everybody and their mama want to start a new project. While at the same time, I just started a new project for myself. There's only so much time in a day. So I got to really think about like grind, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. And I'm about that life, but I have to be honest. And Erica talked about this too, like the hustle thing. People say this phrase, and I hate it, and I still do. You need to be more gentle with yourself. And I'm like, nah, you don't say that to a man. Off top, you don't say that to a man. Yeah. And I'm not saying be gentle with yourself. I'm still saying crack the whip, fire under your ass, all that, however you want to say it, be on it. But at the same time, be super strategic about the eating part, right? The nutrients. And yes, take it to the lab, try different things, but really make sure you're mapping that out within how you're pacing out your lifestyle. And goes a lot for my independents, my indie folks. But I mean, if you have a regular 9 to 5 day job, it's probably even more important. I don't know. Definitely for the independent folks who sort of work from home, you got your own studio, you got your own office, but you kind of make your own schedule. The importance of really being able to like lock in and avoid the P word, the P word, procrastination, balancing out procrastination versus actual rest time. This is a big deal. These are things I'm always sort of struggling with and getting a balance on. Especially as, I mean, in my field, it's more and more in demand. I mean, I had like 4 meetings just yesterday, just like, oh my goodness. And most of my meetings are with like friends who are doing big things. So then it's like, kind of kicking it, talking, catching up. But then let's get on with what let's outline, let's do whatever, let's brainstorm. What are we doing? What do you need? What do you need? How do I help? How do I consult? Right. So there's that. But at the same time, and it's funny, right? Because I didn't want to stream today. I woke up today thinking, okay, hold on. Let me try to have a rest day. Let me not go do cardio for breakfast, which is weird because I can't remember the last day I haven't done at least a 5K power walk or jog. So I do like to be go, 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 go. But there is something to be said for downtime. Funny enough, because this was supposed to be a rest day, but here I am streaming talking about this. So you guys see my predicament. But I enjoy this. So this is hobbies. This is creativity. There's a lot that goes into this. Candace D, what's good? Intentional interactions. Yes, that's super important. But the solitude part. So you do the solitude part first. Because some people are like, I'm lonely. I'm sad by myself. I'm like, if you're lonely and you're sad by yourself, you need to be around yourself or by yourself more. And some people short circuit because I'm like, yeah, you're addicted to being around other people and being tangled up in their drama for the most part. If you're not happy just being around yourself, being by yourself, that's a problem. Who are you really if you don't even like being around yourself? That's crazy talk. But that's a big part of it as well. Obviously, one of the big keys to the free energy lifestyle, the way I do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm an expert on it, but I'm just showing you guys how I do it. So it's going to be real hard for somebody to argue, refute how I move because these things, these 8 bullet points here, this is how I move in life. You understand? So you can't really say I'm an expert at moving how I move and how I adapt and weave with it. And as I've talked about it more, people are showing interest in it and they're saying, AM1, tell me more. Tell me more. And a lot of people say, tell me more are independent freelancer creator types like myself. So now we got this whole other feedback loop. How do you stay focused? How do you stay, on top of what you're trying to do? I'm tired, man. I got brain fog. Okay. What are you eating? First to that, what are you eating? What do you eat on a day? Right. Nobody ever does it. Write down everything you eat for a week. And I can probably tell you what the deal is. Not that I'm even perfect with eating. I do believe in cheat days. I do believe in certain levels of downtime, rest. But as you can see, like I said, and I had to admit, coming off the heart, it's hard for me to have downtime and rest because I'm always looking to go and add value. One of the downsides of being a freelancer type like that and being currently a victim of my own success as we move into spring, summer, I want to come out and play and just kick it. But then at the same time, it's a balance. It's a balance. It's a balance. I've never struggled with solitude in the solitude area. Being in solitude is how I recharge my energy. That's what I'm talking about. Literally free energy, big time. So I've done a lot of solitude in the past few months and changed up my eating, which actually helped me get better sleep. And then I'm waking up earlier. I'm getting cardio for breakfast for energy style. and instantly time in nature, creativity hobbies, more creativity goes through the roof, kick off new hobbies, whole new brands, whole new concepts. And looking back, like a month into when I first dropped the first video on the Free Energy channel, I look back at that like, wow. Telegram group is building up. People rocking, interacting with that, showing each other support in their different paths as far as to their eating health and really, having that uh reassessing their connection with food. It's already adding value to my life and other people's lives, and we're only a month in. Crazy talk. Meanwhile, and when I got this project I'm trying to do this project. And when I got this project, I'm trying to do this project. So I gotta have some downtime. I gotta have some rest days. I gotta be honest about that. So now I'm even like after this stream, shut everything off, turn something on, veg out media content consumption, which I do very rarely. Am I just watching some mindless content just for the sake of fun and entertainment? I'm a big fan of movies. I like movies, but just sitting for 2 hours and watching something that's not giving me a return on that time investment, that's hustling all the way backwards. So the whole point of this stuff is just looking at the different things we do in life and the ways we can not hustle backwards. Obviously, the biggest thing is what we're putting in our faces, the fasting element, all of that. That's a big deal. As you can see, any topic that ever drop, it's always going to funnel back to these points right here, these 8 things you're seeing. And it's dope though, because a lot of people are loving it and they want to see more of it. And I'm not mad at that at all. Let's do more of it. Y'all rocking with me. Y'all supporting this. This is crazy, right? Like, I mean, even this channel in particular, almost at 3K subs. And I haven't even really been active within sort of YouTube. And this channel is kind of built out of like a Black YouTube type space, Black Manosphere type space. And then, I'm kind of evolving it, pivoting it in a different direction now that I'm really looking to add more value. So we're going to do more of the, tutorials on motion graphic design. One of the homies was just hitting me up about video editing. That's something I really wanted to push more of, still do want to push more of, but this health element and how it ties back into this sort of like freelancer lifestyle I have, it's just a little bit more important right now, especially the health thing, right? Because that's directly impacts and is affects and is impacted by the world out at large out here that we all have to deal with, right? So it's kind of first and foremost, like I can show you ways to learn and get accustomed to motion graphic design and production like that. And that's cool. That's a dope career path. Obviously, I'm a fan of that. But the health thing is just way more universal. Not everybody's gonna want to be a motion graphic designer or, get into creative work like that. So the more I got into the health fitness kind of modality, as far as let's really run that brand up, I felt like this had to take precedence over that. But I said that to say, with this AM1 channel, I'm still going to do more of that and just kind of overall media analysis type stuff. So where this channel will go. But right now, definitely the jump off point for the free energy lifestyle content and just pivoting from that. Very important. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. It's more important than anything. You guys, anybody in here who's not sub to the channel, sub here, of course. And then definitely go click over to the AM1 for Energy channel. Go hop in the Telegram group because that's dope. We're already building a community away from this and we're sharing with each other just on the fly. And of course, you can go in there, you can mute it as far as the notifications because I know they can be annoying, but you definitely want to check that out. So, I mean, just based on this, we're coming for our freedom and our autonomy. We understand that we're on our own. We want to do more independent business. We want to understand this stuff. And this is, again, now this for the 9 to 5 folks with the commutes. You don't want to keep doing that. You might have a great job, but I mean, they showed us in the past 2 years what can happen. Tell you can't come to work, shut your business down. I know so many people that lost businesses, lost their life savings, lost livelihoods, lost other jobs, whole communities affected by, representative government, pseudo representative government type saying what you can and can't do for your safety. That's totally unacceptable. We can't be at the mercy of that. So I'm definitely an advocate of independent business. Definitely important. So that's definitely with the autonomy part and the creativity hobbies part. A lot of creativity goes into building a business and maintaining that. And then as you're going to do that, you're going to come from more of your freedom. It's going to be important that you make your body work right because as your body goes, your mind goes. As your mind goes, your body goes. So it's going to take sacrificing as well. Some of the media, the content consumption, who you're around. You see, this stuff is just circular. Everything weaves into the other thing, out of that thing, into the other thing. holistic approach to lifestyle changes and really changing your life overall. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like cliche type stuff, or it sounds obvious, super duper obvious. But I mean, there are people who are interested in it, and it's mind blowing because I run into a lot of people who do independent freelance work like myself. And they're like, well, how are you getting it in on a workout tip as well? And I'm like, yeah, here's what it is. It's the diet part. It all comes back to the food, the F bomb, fasting, staggering out how you eat, putting yourself on a situation where you train yourself, cardio for breakfast. It's worked for me. And again, this free energy lifestyle, AM1 free energy, this is what I do. This is what I do. But try it right now, along with the intermittent fasting basics book that I'm working on, the ebook. I am also working on a 90-day challenge that's going to have different milestones. So 7-day milestone, 14-day milestone, 1 month, and then 3 months out, 90 days, your life is changed for sure. And it basically is just working around these 8 bullet points you see on the screen right here. But part of it is really getting serious and really getting focused into this stuff. And it's not anything like I'm telling you to go do something crazy or something you got to even go really like spend a whole bunch of money for. You can do all of this stuff without a gym membership. You're watching me on YouTube right now. There's enough information on YouTube to totally change your life. I know because I did it. I'm sub to so many different health and fitness channels and have been for years and learned a lot. And then I'm sub to so many like creator type channels as well, a lot of which I use to build my career now as an independent creative consultant. Basically, no excuses. No excuses. Let me see. Because I ran through my notes, but just kind of freestyling though, right? Yeah. Yeah. The whole thing where, and this is something again, myself included, and I'm trying to get better with it, always working on it. Because you gotta hustle. You gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen for sure. More serious than I'm saying right now. I can say it over and over and over, like that Marshawn Lynch clip. Uh You got to make it happen, but not at the expense of your health, because then you are, in fact, hustling backwards. Then now you're at a deficit, you're detrimental to your forward progress, AKA hustling backwards. But the independent hustle, independent grind, I'm definitely an advocate of that. So it is the not so obvious backfire. You might figure, I'm gonna eat this day, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat this, and it's cool. I don't instantly feel the drawback of it, but it's insidious because eating poorly, typically you don't feel the results of it immediately. It kind of lurks in over time. And if you're eating things that throw off your sleep, you might not even realize. You might wake up in the morning and be like, I didn't sleep so well, but I got to get up and grind it out. So where's my coffee? Where's my whatever? Right? It creeps on you in such an insidious way. It becomes the not so obvious backfire. Super insidious. So the way it creeps on you like that, it's just crazy. But amazingly enough, and as far as the free energy lifestyle, one of the ways to gain some of that back is focusing on how you eat. So the whole fasting thing, it's a tricky game, but guaranteed experiment with that. Like I'm basically pulling up on like a 24-hour fast right now, and it's nothing. I'm like, do I break it? Do I eat today? What I want to do? What do I want to do? I had some thoughts about what I want to approach. Do I want to do a 48? Do I want to do alternate day fasting? Because my fast days generally always start on Mondays. So I ate my last meal probably around 4 yesterday, and it's 4 now. So I'm at 24. So I guess do a 24-hour fast. It's nothing. You haven't eaten anything today? Oh my God. I would just die. Do I seem like I'm going to die? Do I seem not crisp? Now, I have been intermittent fasting for years. Don't get it twisted. And I don't suggest anyone just go into these fasting strategies, but I'm working on a book that'll kind of show you how to ease into it. But without a doubt, I mean, it's way easier than you think. It's literally just skipping breakfast. There's so many people out right now dropping content about fasting, intermittent fasting, different strategies. And when I thought about putting more content out of this nature, I was like, I don't want to be redundant. Now, there's different markets, there's different sort of like demographics and whatnot. Okay, cool. But I feel more kind of like talking about something that's so simple, but then realizing most people are nowhere near the mental capacity to even cut out with just one meal, one of the meals of their day, let alone not eating the whole day. But there's so much value to it. It's insane. And of course, you want to work up to it. Again, I want to iterate that process even more. We talk about these things inside the group. Come join the Telegram group. I'll drop that link right now as well, which I already did. But Stefan, Educated Tyrone, I appreciate that. If you're feeling the stream, feel free to drop a Cash App or Super Chat. Let me drop that on the screen too. Banner game. If you want to support, whole lot of value packed into the stream. If you've been chilling with me for a while, you already know what it is. You want to support, definitely do that. Support content that is really going to move you in a proper direction. As you're looking at the keys to health up on the screen right now, this is how I rock, this is how I roll. I suggest you roll with some of this stuff. It's not even ego, it's not even about me, but I think objectively, these things on the screen right now can be seen and shown demonstrably to put you in a better lifestyle. And, this channel kind of coming up out of the Black Manosphere kind of vibe, we know there's people of varying age groups, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. We got a wide demographic here. This stuff is super important. Some of the young folks, think you're gonna live forever. You think it's good. You can eat Taco Bell and smoke blunts all day. Cool. I get it. Because I was there at a certain point. There was a time where I would smoke blunts all day, eat Taco Bell, and some drink, whatever. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It would be so good. So good. But that was way back in the day. And I know I cannot pull that off and get away with such a thing. And I know the impacts of that and then how it's gonna hustle backwards or be me hustling backwards and come back to bite me. G Dizzle in the building. What's good? Coach DC, what's good? Candace D said, eating better and intermittent fasting does improve your sleep patterns. I know this for a fact because I did it. I definitely did it. And yes, there's a wealth of information on YouTube. Yes. And part of that, and I'm working on something for that as well. Because even within the YouTube paradigm, and a lot of you that rock on YouTube a lot know, it's easy to get caught up in BS content right here on YouTube because there's a lot of it in Black YouTube. Let's be honest, right? And I get it because for many years I've, tied myself into that a lot. As you can see, I've backed away from a lot of that stuff. And once I decided I'm gonna get more serious with this and offer the same type of value I add for my clients in the real world, I want to come to this space and do the same thing. And actually got some pushback. Hey, Mon, you need to go somewhere with, your thoughts on whatever, whatever. This space is just for this. Okay, cool. Okay. So here's kind of my pivot. But this stuff still applies for any space, right? Because objectively, these things will make your life better. And one of the biggest things that have been a part of my lifestyle, even more so within this year, exponential growth as far as my understanding about my body and how it works, and coming into more power about like changing my habits. Like this stuff is super serious. Like it sounds woo woo, it sounds far out, but it's like, yes, hack your habits, have more control over what you consume, build in more of a sense of delayed gratification. This stuff is super important because if you're not eating right, you're not sleeping right, you're, ingesting, consuming content that's just throwing your energy off even more. Basically, you are playing yourself. Like, really? That's got to be unacceptable. It's got to be unacceptable because while that's happening, meanwhile, not to sound all doom and gloom, there are people out there hoping that you walk into these traps because they're trying to walk you into even worse and bigger traps. Yes, they're the ones who set it all up. If you play along into that, you're going to have to abstain from some of those things. This is all bad, but it can be so good. And most of the things that you can find real benefit and joy from in life are FREE. So that we go back to intentional interactions, creativity, hobbies, time, and nature. See how it's always going to come back to that. You're going to have to sacrifice some of the what you eat. Get proper nutrient consumption as opposed to putting stuff in your body that's going to make you sick. Yes, I know it tastes so good. Yes, I know you throw back some drinks and the mind altering effect you get. Yes, well versed in it. Been smashed, been hammered so many times, been buzzed so many times. Yes, I get it. Smoke blunts all day, eat Taco Bell. Yes, only Pookies do that. Only Pookies eat that much Taco Bell. Yes, straight Pookie vibes. Mr. Behavior, yes, that'll throw it all off too. Because there's a lot of dudes with sexual frustration type vibes going on. The INCEL word that's becoming more prevalent. Dudes out here mad at women that want to get with Future anyway. You know what I mean? And you ain't the Future type. I ain't even gonna get into that discussion. That's too crazy. But either way, the world is going crazy. You better figure it out. Don't give away your free energy. That's stupid. That's stupid. You can't do that. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? If y'all want to do it, if y'all got questions, do it like a Q&A kind of thing. If y'all got any questions, throw those up. And they got to be like high level questions though. Or I get into something because I want the stream to be an hour. I don't want to go too long. But if y'all want to do some Q&A type stuff, feel free to drop a super chat. You could do one as low as $2 or whatever you want. Also, hit the Cash App if you really want to support this content. Because think about it. There's people who can come on here and just feed you some more content that you can consume that's just going to waste your time. Or you can support content creators that are looking to really game you up and at the very least motivate you on things you already know and things you damn well know you need to do. And let me put fire under your ass as I'm putting fire under my ass. Right? Let's do that. I know people that got real good jobs, but still is like, I ain't trying to do this forever. Let me break away and do my own independent thing. And I'm like, what you doing? What you got? Because I consult like that. When you trying to put something out, you're going to need promo. Whether I do it, I say it to my clients all the time. Whether I do it or somebody else does it, you're going to need to promote what you're doing or you're hustling backwards. You know how many business owners that I know that don't understand marketing and the importance of visual, even though we're in this social media age where there's so much visual content. I'm like, I got to educate y'all on this. And they're like, well, I'm just trying to focus on subject matter expert or this particular business. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But you don't know you need content? Come on, people. Come on, people. I get it, though. I get it. Let's see. I share AM1's channel with most of my in real life friends before I share dating content. Wow. I super appreciate that. Well, please do. If you got some other social media like Facebook and whatnot, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but share it to the folks. Share the video. If you got a channel, run that up. Educated Tyrone, Bogey's eating Taco Bell. Gene in the building was good. Valueless gossip content is oversaturated. These channels will stand the test of time. But that's the thing. If they do stand the test of time, is that a good thing? I think we know it's not. So do we want to support and at least create a counterbalance with channels that are really looking to bring you value and bring you value in a real world sort of way here within this particular platform, but then across other platforms as well? Like we have a dope opportunity here to forge a new world order of health and freedom. That was a hybrid of like George Bush and Klaus Schwab, if you know who that guy is. We can have a new health world order. You understand? Salute to you for turning your life around, AM1. Yeah. No, I mean, my life went in some dark paths at certain points, and even health game, just learning this stuff. But I had to learn a lot on my own. I had OGs that put me up on a lot of game. But then we moved into the millennia. We moved into 2000, 2010, 2020, last 20 years. And the OGs ain't really had nothing for that. And I had to figure out so much on my own, half my life. You understand? I got a super chat tomorrow when my direct deposit hits. I feel that. And I appreciate the support. Either way, I appreciate you being here. What else we got? Mr. Behavior in the building. How you doing, sir? I think I just saw your IG the other day or something reminded me of Mr. Behavior. I'm glad you covered so many topics. AM1 topics though. AM1 men and humans are more nuanced than just dating and gossip or getting money. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my thing. If we're gonna talk Black manosphere, Black YouTube, manosphere, then I know as a man, I have diverse thought and I think about a lot of things and I'm interested in a lot of different things. So how is it that the high percentage of this stuff is just all about women? When for me, dealing with women is like a secondary sort of thing. Sure, I like the company of women and orgasms and all that good stuff, but I got to make sure my resource game is on point first. My money game is on point first. My creativity game, my health game. Or what am I really doing trying to worry about women if that's not in order first and foremost, right? That's crazy. That would be hustling backwards. And a lot of brothers are out here hustling backwards. We're not even talking about on the level of like freelance entrepreneurship versus your health. You know what I mean? We got people hustling backwards just on baseline things like I want to focus more on sexual access than actually having like a real sustainability protracted out into the future. Masculinity relative to just awareness of my surroundings and my environment and how other threats might, hinder my ability to sustain myself and thrive. Like that's real, like basic man level stuff right there. But there's dudes that's like, no, just focus on the women. And I'm like, nah, I get it, but you're at the mercy of your hormones. Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. Club Fortune, shout out to my guy. You mentioned bone broth on your streams and on the Telegram. What broth do you use? I mean, I just get whatever brand. I mean, I try to get obviously something that's gonna say, organic, non-GMO off top. That's everything. But I mean, there's different brands. Some of the stuff is super pricey, and I'm wondering is it just like marketing? The pricier ones will have the fancier packaging. And I'm a marketing guy, so I'm like, let me just get this Whole Foods brand one. But I do notice that some of the bone broths have more protein in others. But then, of course, you want to look at sort of the protein sources, how they're doing it, how they're able to gauge that. So I kind of don't worry about the brand, so to speak. I use beef and chicken bone broth, if that's part of the question. But if you're asking about a particular brand, I don't worry about that too much and just make sure that I'm getting it because so far that's worked for me as a great strategy to break a fast. Sorry for the folks that are vegetarian or vegan or refuse to have any animal products because I do eat animal products and I'm not really feeling that. Shout out to my guy, Coach G. We talked about that. He talked about how he could put me on a diet that's just all plant based and probably get me the same results that I get eating the sparingly the meat that I do eat. And, there's the debate of, fish or beef or chicken, whatever is it meat? What meat is meat? But I'm essentially pescatarian for the most part. I do have fish, and then beyond that, mostly vegetables and like greens. You know what I mean? Leafy greens. That's one of my biggest things. I look at YouTube as royalties and as other second world countries get easier internet access. I can see YouTube viewership increasing. Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt, more YouTube content is definitely going to run up. That's exactly why I said, you know what? I'm seeing where this is going. And I'm seeing, I mean, unfortunately, these platforms, there's other platforms too, bait you in, have these really cool features, user interface, and just the functionality of it and just the popularity of it. Create a situation where you can make money on these things. But then at the same time, there's the censorship element where they can really use it to kind of socially engineer. And if they don't like what you're talking about, they can kind of get you up out of here. Double-edged sword for them because then other platforms are popping up as well. Obviously, there's Patreon, Subscribestar, these different other platforms where you can even monetize as well. Even, Twitch or, these other kind of streaming sort of things. So cool. This is one of the best times to be able to make money from home. The downside is they want you to just stay home, but we'll sort that out as well. Hence the importance of time and nature. But yeah, with all that, knowing what I know, doing the kind of work I do, I understand the trajectory and where it's going. So the content thing is only going to get more prevalent. In fact, obviously, metaverse style, they want to put you in the content. They want to make you a part of the content. I advise not going that route. I'm not going to go that route. There's going to be a boom to where they're going to try this whole, metaverse, put you in some kind of VR kind of thing because they're not going to be able to force it as easily as they would like to believe or try to force you to believe. I'm going to go the opposite way, though. The bigger boom is going to be more time in nature, which is part of why I launched this free energy thing when I did. And there will be much more about nature. And in certain parts of the world, they are going to force people to not be able to go outside. And they can do it because they already did it. I'm going to be outside more. And you guys tap in with my content and be like, wow, I remember we could actually go outside and experience the beauty of nature. And be like, yeah, I got something for you. So I'm always calculating. I'm seeing the moves that the sort of controller types are trying to pull and I'm hedging my bets in the opposite direction. Exactly, M1. It always blew my mind that dudes had a heavy priority for women and flex stuff over focusing on important priorities and self development. Yeah, man. Yeah. Super mind blowing. Super mind blowing. Complain, complain, complain. And then I get it. Like people have told me, sort of high people in those spaces are like, it is like a trauma bonding thing. And I'm like, wow. I mean, that's kind of a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's like, okay, cool, but Or group therapy, trauma bonding. I'm like, group therapy. And that's not a bad thing. Therapy is good, right? But to the point where it's like, well, where's the productivity? Where's the benefits being reaped from it? That's when I'm kind of like, whoa, okay, okay, okay. Hustling backwards. Shout out to my guy Doug in the building. What else we got? Facts. Even when my friends link up for vacation or party weekends, they still talk about finances, creative projects, sports, politics. We can't talk about chicks the whole weekend. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. That's how I am. I'm the type that's like, hey, relax. You're supposed to be on vacation. And I'm like, I'm on vacation, but I'm excited thinking about the next things I'm about to run up. Yeah, I get it. And I think that's where you want to be, but there is still something to be said for actual downtime. But that's a slippery slope, right? Because then you can find yourself easily slipping into procrastination to reset and restart. Slippery slope. That's something we want to be aware of and watch for that, right? Because again, a lot of these changes are really insidious kind of things and can really creep up in a very slick kind of way. So we have to be aware of this stuff, right? All right, let's see. Your niche maxing, as us black pillars call it. Niche maxing. What do you mean by that? Tell me more about that. Maxing out different niches. Kettle and Fire is supposed to contain collagen. Yeah, no, I think that's a legit brand. I've seen that brand. I've bought them before. I've got that brand before. Yeah, but they're pretty pricey though. That's kind of the trick. So I say that to say, sure, go for you can get a more expensive brand if you can kind of like look at the packaging, of course, and the importance of understanding reading labels and know what you're looking at. If you can see objectively that it costs more because it adds more, then cool. But don't let that be a deterrent to where it's like, if I don't get Kettle and Fire, I can't just get the like generic brand where I'm at. Generic brand, fine. Just make sure they're at least trying to act like it's from some kind of organic sources and that it's non GMO. I say focus on that more so than the extra features, meaning how much collagen or how much protein. They're typically all going to have some kind of protein, but either way, the point is just to wake your system up. And again, I'm talking about bone broth. Master Jones' comment right now is talking about bone broth relative to using that as a strategy to break a fast, because then you're breaking it with not too much fiber, obviously not carbs that could convert to sugar, and you're waking your system up with protein. And as your system wakes up, it's automatically getting protein straight away, and that's going to digest easier and cleaner and smoother. Now, I've got this information from people that I look into that I trust so much that I would try it out, and so far, I took it to the lab and it's been working for me. So we got to be our own scientists, take it to the lab. I hear different things from different people, look at what I want to try, and I take it to the lab, try it out. Oh, okay, this worked. Cool. I'm going to adapt this to my strategy. And if at some point I come across something better, I'm not going to stay married to the old strategy. I'm going to try new things. So there's no ego thing about it. We just try different strategies, take it to the lab, try different things, because ultimately it's about the efficiency of how your mind is moving, how your body's moving, because we got things to do, because we got to get out here and hustle forward, not backwards. You understand? Because we're coming for our freedom. We're coming for the freedom, the autonomy, the self governance. Even now, I see a rise in off the grid people, hikers, runners. That free nature point is spot on. Yes, indeed. Especially after the world being kind of shut down on some weirdo type stuff for a good 2 years or so. Things kind of opening back up or whatever, however you want to look at that. More people outside. We're here in the Bay Area, a lot more people outside. And unfortunately, a lot more people outside walking their dogs in places where there's human beings designed to move about and people not paying attention to where their animals are. Whew. Yeah. Hard to run around paths and people just got their dogs running around everywhere. It's kind of annoying. Time management and procrastination are killers. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, and a rising minimalist. Yes, totally. Niche maxing is learning or leaning into your strengths that aren't quantifiable. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's dope. I like that. Or your strengths that make you stand out. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Niche maxing. Yeah. Black pillars typically overrate looks and race. Oh, they overrate looks and race and money and underestimate charisma, confidence, energy, masculinity with empathy. Oh, I see. I see. Whoa. Okay. So they're saying these things are happening because how I look. or an undesired outcome based on how I look or my race or how much money I have. That's how I'm interpreting what you're saying. But they underrate just general charisma, confidence, energy, masculinity, wit, empathy. Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. That's why, I mean, some of the black pill ideas, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm pretty, skeptical about the average person's like overall consciousness. So it's easy to kind of just be like, yeah, it's all bad. Let's just let it all burn down, let it all fall apart. To a certain degree, I'm there. But at the same time, I'm like, I can look in the mirror and see myself taking real steps to make real changes, right? And I know there's more people out there that are doing it and that can do it and that want to do it. So I'd rather be a motivator than just being like super black pilled and just being like, nah, I'll let it all burn down and just fall back. Plus, there's the danger of just falling back and just leaving people to their devices meaning their devices, their brainwash tools, and let other people manipulate them and weaponize them against all of our freedom. That's a bad look. Exactly why, as this point here, media content consumption, if you're not paying attention, these people will program you to do things that are very much against your best interest, right? They will use fear and manipulation to get you doing all kind of weird things you thought you would never do. Like if somebody said, "Hey, eat this random thing. Close your eyes, put a blindfold on, close your eyes, and let me put something in your mouth and eat this thing." And you're like, "What is it?" Like, don't worry about it, but it's for your safety, it's for your health. And if you don't eat it, you might get sick, right? You see where I'm going with this? You're going to be like, what? That's crazy. But they literally just did that to everybody. They did that to a lot of people, and a lot of people went for it. And then when it didn't quite work, then they started forcing people to have to put the blindfold on and be fed something that they still didn't know the ingredients of. You see what I'm saying? It's all bad. So yes, improper media content consumption will have you doing all kind of very strange things and manipulating your mind, which will manipulate your body and have a whole cascade of side effects that you do not want, without a doubt. That is big time hustling backwards against everything, including and especially your freedom. Club Fortune, okay, you guys are talking to each other. Most men that I see that are seen as attractive by women niche maxed as well as had some quantifiable good traits too. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Totally logical. Totally logical. Ron Will sums up a lot of my thoughts better than me. Yeah, no, he has some definitely some gems. Definitely. Ron Will's channel is actually a true interpretation of the black pill. Okay. I don't think I've ever checked out his channel, but I've seen content and seen him talk a lot. Club Fortune said my remote work gave me back a good work-life balance. I'm gonna put some of my lifestyle changes to the test when I move to a new city in 2 weeks. Club Fortune, you already know what it is. Keep me posted on it. I'm very interested in how that works because new city, 2 weeks. So that's good. That's a good opportunity. Already be thinking about how you're gonna get set up, where you're gonna be getting your food, how you're gonna space everything out, how you can quickly adapt into a situation where you're very intentional about your nutrient consumption, right? Pivot into that. I know I hate the idea of moving, but I know that can be a kind of a stressful thing. So already be planning for that. I'm just suggesting literally what I would be doing. Credit Solutions in the building was just talking about you earlier as one of my inspirations for this particular stream, talking specifically about the idea of not hustling backwards as independent business owners, operators. It's important that we are able to put fire under our ass properly, grind, 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 add value, but at the same time, not hustle backwards by leaving free energy on the table, eating shitty food, not getting the right rest, the P word, procrastination, making sure we're getting our free energy time in nature. You know what I mean? There's a tendency to overwork at times. You got to catch up because of the procrastination. All of that. So you already know what it is. Credit Solutionist knows what I'm talking about. I know for a fact. So we've talked about it offline, and we did a dope stream last week. Check that out on either channel for energy, AM1 for energy channel or AM1 channel. Doug said, I'm literally moving right now as I'm listening. I appreciate you being here with me, Doug. Doug already knows what it is. You've seen how I've moved over the years and kind of my more recent pivot. Looking to offer value. I'm assuming I'm doing so if you'll be listening to me while you're moving. Credit Solution says, our chat the other day got me moving 100%. I appreciate that. And of course, appreciate you pulling up on me. A whole lot of gems in that discussion. Y'all definitely go check that up. I'm going to try to go back into that and chop up some of the segments from the stream with the Credit Solutionist. And definitely make sure you are subscribed to the Credit Solutionist. She's just bringing a whole lot of value. Every stream I do, I want to make sure there's value, some kind of real world impact, potential value, or at the least motivation. Fire under asses. We do that free energy style. Energy under asses. You understand? Club Fortune said, I'm all right. Winded down my workday, didn't hit the gym. I guess you guys are talking to each other. Y'all spitting facts on that stream. Y'all were spitting facts on that stream. I appreciate that, sir. And what else we got? Coming up on an hour mark, so I'm going to shut this thing down. But yeah, just wanted to go over this and talk about not hustling backwards. As you see, the hustle backwards situation applies to my 7 to 8 points of AM1 free energy lifestyle support. Content creators putting out content to really bring you some real world value, and especially relative to health, because that is very much needed, right? For the independents, for the 9-to-5ers, for everybody, retired, old folks, whatever, babies, all that, proper nutrients, because we have to be honest about the fact that we are on our own. There are people out here styling themselves as caring about it so much. But if you're paying attention, they've demonstrated that they do not really care. They do. Hashtag they don't care. So it's on us. We can't be babies about life. We can't be children about life. We got to be mature. We got to be honest about this and really understand we are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us, so we have to save ourselves. And if you have children, then you definitely got to ramp that up as well. So this applies to everybody. AM1 creates free energy lifestyle. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I appreciate the pull up. Anybody on the replay, show your boy some love. Make sure you hit the like button, all that good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed to both channels. Let me drop that other channel link. I think everybody in here is already subscribed to it. If you're not, you are supremely slipping. AM1 Free Energy channel, subscribe to both of those. Both links just went out because I'm broadcasting simultaneously in both channels. And let's get those numbers up on the Free Energy channel as well. Trying to get that to 1,000 ASAP because I'm really looking to make moves with that. If you guys support it, support the channel, cash apps, super chats, then it lets me know it's real and that you're really rocking with your boy. And then I say, oh, well, I do more of this instead of the client work for my other clients. They'll be very sad to have me go, but I want you guys to have the benefit more so because I like this more and I can get real creative. I got more content promos and stuff coming. The visual element, of course, because that's what I do. It's going to be popping. It's going to be dope. The production value is going to be through the roof. So you guys support it, support the content that's really looking to level you up and put some energy under your ass. Let's do more of that. I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with your boy AM1.